All right, what's up everyone? Quinn here, back with another video. Today I'll be showing you how I edit my Overland photos in Adobe Lightroom. This is my process. Everyone's got a different process. Feel free to do it how you like, but this is how I do it. I'll show you how I went from this to this and just kind of take that photo to the next level in the edit. So let's dive into it. All right, so here we are. Here's my previous edit, so I'm gonna actually go here and reset this whole thing back to the original. I'm gonna assume you already know the basics of taking photos. This is a raw photo. Essentially, that gives you the most amount of flexibility when you go to edit. So I typically like shooting raw. If you're shooting on an iPhone, that works too. All the same kind of techniques that I'll show you here will apply to that as well. So here we are. Here's my original image. First thing I like doing is kind of hopping into this basic tab and hitting this auto button up here. So Adobe does a great job at kind of just detecting the scene and showing you what they think an ideal photo would look like. To me, this is a little bland. I like just kind of using this as a starting point. And then next step I would do is I come into this presets menu, and Adobe has all these great presets that they have built in into Lightroom. So I use these as like a starting point to get a stylized look. And sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but you know, I give them a shot because there's a bunch in here and they're really good. So for this particular one, I know I ended up using this Winter 9. I thought this gave a pretty cool look. And then you can adjust the intensity here with that slider. So sometimes it's a little overboard. As you can see, here are the other ones. Like that looks like a bit much. So you can dial that down if it's too much. So this is already looking way better. Like look at the before and the after here. It's looking pretty cool. Personally, I like to add a bit of warmth to my images. So I'll bring my temperature slider kind of to the right, increase that Kelvin. So this is already looking much warmer. I also see lifted shadows already, kind of bring the detail into this car. But what I like to do too is go into this mask tool, and up here you can create a new subject mask, and Adobe Lightroom does an awesome job now. This used to be a really tedious process, but it does an awesome job now at auto detecting the subject, so then you can make adjustments to just that subject there. So obviously that's way too much, but what I like to do is select that subject and kind of lift these shadows a bit. Not too much because that looks obviously fake, but just enough, and then kind of bump the highlights a little bit too. Almost looks like the car or the truck was lit on set, which it wasn't. This is just in the field, but almost gives that look. So that's awesome with the masks. But as you can see, that kind of lifted the shadows under here. And personally, I'm not a big fan. Obviously, that spare tire doesn't match my others, and eventually get a swing out for a bigger spare tire, but that's kind of like distracting to me right here. So I'll create another mask at the top here, and go into the brush and kind of fill this spot in here just a little bit and kind of drop those shadows back down, maybe exposure just a little bit, just so it's less distracting. You can see the before and after there. Kind of just hides it a little bit so it's not in your face. So this is already looking pretty awesome in my opinion. The last thing, or not the last thing, but the next thing I like doing here is I like accentuating these rocks and, you know, the tire tread and the mud. And to do that, I play around a bit with this texture slider. Not too much, obviously you can go overboard with it, but just a little bit. And then also a little bit of clarity. Clarity can easily, you can easily overdo it. Like that doesn't look good in my opinion. but just a little bit, enough to make things pop and make things look kind of really detailed in there. And then my last step here is just playing around with the crop. For this one, I wasn't a big fan of this open space with that tree there. So I'll bring this crop in just a little bit like that, hit enter, and to me, this is looking awesome. This is a perfect picture, in my opinion. And, you know, I could go over the top and add in a fake sky, remove some things here and there, but to me, this is how it felt when I was there taking that photo on that day. And so I'm just using this edit to kind of bring that back to life. So again, here's the after and here's our before. Look at that difference. Pretty cool in my opinion. And then, so if you go up here, back into file, export, go here, original name, full size, 100% quality, and then you can export that there. Boom, exporting, and there you go. There's your final image. So I hope that helped, kind of a little behind the scenes on how I edit my Overland photos. You can apply this to a bunch of different things. This subject just happens to be my truck. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a comment, like, subscribe if you want to see more. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more of these kind of behind the scenes editing. So we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.